Sleep till I come home. Dream of something sweet. I will be there soon to wake you so discreet.
3. Hello everybody! Get some boobs in the chat and welcome to another walkthrough of the Textguides with me and RJTV. Welcome, my dear
Hey,
friend.
man. Awesome to be here. Welcome everyone in the chat. Awesome for you guys to be here.
Yeah, glad to have so much hype already, and glad to actually have you on camera, RJ. You know, as we all speculated that you were naked the last time.
I was.
I honestly don't know. I didn't see you, so but it would be weird, though.
Oh, so you don't want me to? Okay.
No.
Okay.
Then we might not have that many people left to to go. So everybody, thank you so much for being here this evening. It's going to be a lot of talk and no gameplay. So it's a little bit special stream. I understand that might not be the funniest, but this is very valuable for you. It's new holes. We're going to play drum or links in the upcoming tournament, and all of them are new holes. And I guess there is players that hasn't been getting that much practice. I've been playing the holes actually a lot from all tees, which I've been lucky to get, you know, as it is random when it comes to the matchmaking. So me and RJ, we're gonna go over the courses here, but before we do that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, to both of us. You can find, you know, my subscribe button somewhere on the screen, I think, or down below, and also it's RJTV. Hit that subscribe button as well. If you're watching on Twitch, hit the follow button top of the stream. That's the heart button. And obviously, if you do want to get the updated text guides, you sign up on patreon.com/golfclashtommy. I do believe that the updated text guides is one of the best guides that is there out in the game, without knowing all of the guides, obviously. But so check the video that is here on the YouTube channel if you want to get more information about the updated text guides, where I actually show you a couple of guides from the last tournament, so you actually can see what you, if so, are going to buy. So in this walkthrough, as always, RD is going to cover rookie. I'm going to cover pro, expert, and master, and we obviously is going to answer your questions in chat. So make sure that you put in whatever question you might have. And the thing that's going to be is that after every hole, we're going to answer somewhere between 3 to 10 questions, depending on, you know, how much time it takes. We're going to try to keep the flow going, and we're going to do that after every hole. And don't take it personally if you can't get to your question, if there is a lot of questions. Yeah, that's about this. I guess. Or what do you say, Artie? Are we ready?
I believe we are ready.
Okay, let's go to hole number 1, par 4, 438 yards. How do we play that one from front tee?
Okay, well, first of all, we want to keep in mind that we have a 10% elevation adjustment. I would bring the extra mile with a navigator. I like the navigator. It's got wind too. Right side is the side that I think that we should be playing on. So we're going to be going with full top spin, full right spin. We're going to land over the bunker and bounce over the sand, as you can see on the text guides there to my left. I'm sorry, it's like I got the text guides here. I'm getting lost here. Anyway, for the approach shot, definitely an opportunity for an eagle. And that's why I want the navigator, just to cut down that wind a little bit. Your second shot, make sure you bring the Hornet, bounce over that stream, and get the ball in the hole.
And we are going to try to do the same from second tee if we start there. We're going to follow the black line. It's going to give us the best opportunity to approach the pin. And as RJ mentioned, 10% downhill is going to be for the second tee as well. 0 for the second shot. Here it could be beneficial to play with at least a power 2 ball from second tee, so we're not having to go with a bunch of overpower trying to clear the rough there in the center. There is a possibility, even in headwind, to play, if so, with a kingmaker to go that route. For those of you that do want to play a little bit more safer drive, but gives you a little bit harder opportunity for the second shot, you play on the left side. You bounce over the rough, and then from there, you either approach the pin directly or you bounce over. But the reason I do believe bouncing over is harder from the left side is because there's a bigger gap. There's a bigger gap on the left than there is on the right over the water. When we do play from third tee, it's going to be the same type of elevation. 10% for the drive, 0 for second shot. And here it's really, if we do have a crosswind or a tailwind, we are going to play on the right side. If we do have a headwind, we cannot play on the right side. That's not going to be possible, as it's going to be too much of a headwind and we will not carry that far, and we're most likely going to risk more than we're going to be rewarded, even if we make it. So we play on the left side if so, and then we approach the prim from distance there. Something that I would come back to all the par 4s is that all of them have good opportunities. I think this one includes with hole 5 and obviously hole 8, very good opportunities, and I think that kind of is the holes that we're going to focus on. Focus on something. Swinglish. Woohoo!
Swinglish. I like that.
Yeah. Okay. Sloan, thank you so much. And once again, everybody, thank you so much for all the love to me and RJ. It's much appreciated. It really is. And so thank you so much for that. What would you both choose? Sniper level 3 or Viper level 8? Would you like to go first, RJ?
Sure. It really depends on what you need. If you're going to need more backspin on a shot, then you really there is no decision. You would have to go with the Viper. They probably both have close to the same topspin, but man, that ball guide is wonderful on the Sniper. I think you get a little more distance as well on the Viper, but if you don't need the attributes of the Viper, then by far go Sniper.
I would go Viper. I'm not gonna debate that. No, it's each for their own, obviously. But Viper level 8, Sniper level 3. I don't even think we have better than 4.0 in ball guideline, even though it's most likely gonna be better than the Viper. Doesn't, in the end, you choose whatever you feel comfortable with. So, is it weird that I prefer the big dog to the extra mile? Meant the rock to the extra mile, because okay, yay, I understand that. No, it's like, I think it's becoming more and more common to play with more, clubs with accuracy and ball guideline, which the rock and the quarterback is having. And I suggest that all the time. If we don't need any distance, then the quarterback or the rock is the clubs to go with. Rock bump for sure, Mike says. It's possible to do a rock bump, Dimitri says, and I would say yes, it is. But I'm not gonna try to do a rock bump if I do have a headwind or a tailwind, because then I'm gonna go from either a lower point to a higher point in headwind. I'm gonna go from a higher point to a lower point in tailwind, and that's going to be a hard adjustment to make correct. But if you feel that you have your wind adjustments like spot on, you understand the elevation difference when you drop down and go up, then you go there. And if you have a crosswind, absolutely a good suggestion there. Works every time, Mike. No, it's I don't know. I don't know about you, RJ. I love those comments about works every time. I wish there was shots that would work every time, though. Then
yeah, my shots. My shots don't work every time. I wish they did. Maybe I'd have some gold, but yeah. I don't know. Sometimes you got to clean your balls off, and they just need to go into the river. Or you just like a little challenge and you want it to go in the rough. Or sometimes you want to feel like you're at the beach, so you go into the sand.
Jokes aside, guys, obviously there is a possibility to play the rock bump, but in the end, it's all about you feeling comfortable with it. I won't suggest that, as it won't be a way for me to play in tailwind and headwind. And when I only going to suggest that in some sort of in a crosswind, I think I make the community a disservice to make that as like the spotlight situation. But in the end, if it worked for you, go with that and keep killing it and drop it in the hole, please. Oh, thanks Tommy for all you do. AGM, thank you so much. Oh, we didn't have the alert box on. Oh my god, that was too bad. That's not good of me. Yeah. AGM, thank you so much for the $10. Give AGM some boom and some love in the chat. Thank you so much.
There's your alert.
Abraham Grutz as well, thank you so much for subscribing. Sorry guys, I didn't have the alert box on. It will be on from now on. Hole number 2, RJ. I think it's time to go over the first par 3. So, what do we do here?
Okay, well, for hole number 3, I have us using a Goliath with a Quasar. We're going to be using anywhere from 1 or 0 to 1 top spin, wind dependent on everything, full left spin. We're going to be using the adjustment at minimum distance. Did I say 15%? I feel like I didn't. We're also going to aim in the for the bottleneck there that you see on your screen with the and then I'm sorry, I'm seeing the text guides pop up and everything's like, I'm not used to the delay. I'm used to being the guy on the other side. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I just seen it roll up, and I'm like, yeah. But anyway, yeah. So the ball guide will show you basically right in the middle with the bottleneck, and then the ball guide also is going to bounce on the fringe. And I just totally messed up hole number 2. Tommy, send me a raft, a life preserver, and bail me out, because, wow, yeah, that was ugly.
Hole number 2, I think the par 3s was from the start, it was kind of like, whoa, this is going to be tough too. I've actually started to enjoying them, because it's all about, obviously, to find the adjustment. And when you do that, you're starting to feel more comfortable. So, when we play from the second tee, as we start there, I'm going to play that one with 15% extra. And there is 2 ways for you to play there. There is one where you can play with your wood club in minimum distance, or you play with your long iron in maximum distance. And I would, from the second tee, suggest to play with a wood club here, as to play closer to the green. And I don't feel comfortable playing with a long iron bouncing up towards the pin. I don't really feel that's going to be the best way to get the hole-in-one. That's just a feeling I have. I might change, because it all kind of comes down to what type of wind we're having. If we have a straight tailwind, we might change into play with the Goliath further back down and bounce up towards the pin. I would suggest here to play with a ball with a little bit, like with a decent amount of wind resistance, minimum wind resistance too here. And that would be, that would be helpful, as when we play a lot downhill, it's going to be very important to reduce the wind a little bit and stuff. So when it comes to 30, we play that one to bounce according to the white line there. We bounce up with a wood club in tailwind and with a wood club with basically every type of wind, because we're going to be in somewhat medium to maximum distance there. So we bounce up using 2 to 3 bars of backspin, depending on the wind, obviously. Decent shot for a hole-in-one, absolutely. Not an easy one, but definitely a chance. Those can we see, then see, okay, RJ, oh, you already answered there with the best way to contact you. It was through email, it's rjtv@yahoo.com. Right?
Absolutely, yes. I am not very big on Facebook or anything social media. I know I need to do better, but I hate it. But anyway, yes, if you email me, I do get my emails and I do respond. So,
yes. Then we have Thomas Williams and Tommy Williams, Bobby. Hey to both of you, thank you so much. Jacob, thank you so much. Appreciate that. I've been using 20% and being perfect on this hole. That's good, buddy. I hope perfect means hole-in-one every time. No, I'm not gonna joke about that. As I state very clearly in my elevation video, you can play with a different elevation to get the same type of outcome. It's all about what adjustment you're using. You can use 20%, you can use 10%, you can use 50%. It's all about what you're using as for adjustment. And the difference between 15 and 20% is basically nothing. It's like a decimal or 2 in that regard.
I'm sorry if I threw you off. I'm reading the
chat. No worries.
I'm waving back.
I'm reading as well. I don't think we do. For a rookie, can you use the B52 3 since not much topspin needed?
Sure. If you have a B52, I would play the lottery. In rookie.
Yeah, so yes, I would. I guess we would say, you can basically play with whatever long iron you might have in rookie.
Yeah, you got the distance, you got a really nice ball guide, but because it's an epic club, a lot of rookies aren't going to have it. I'm not sure which tour we open it up on. I know there are people with higher level clubs that are still in rookie, and that's okay. I'm not saying anything, but I'm just saying, for the vast majority of people, a Goliath is something everyone should have, in my opinion. A B-52 may or may not be unlocked, so that's why I didn't include that in the notes.
Mark Ibiri, hey buddy, thank you so much for stopping by. Thank for your help with Golf Clash, both of you. Amprex, thank you so much for the 10 bits. Give Amprex some boom and some love in chat. I just noticed that the boom is just over RJ's head, so that's nice.
I thought it got hot in here, man. What happened to my hair? What did you do, man?
Yeah, I kind of forgot that you actually shaved your head.
No, I didn't. You blew it off with that fire, man. God, my wife's gonna kill me when she's done.
Right. Yeah, I love those dad, the dad jokes part.
Soon it's gonna be grandpa jokes. Well, I'm not saying anything. There it is. I just seen it on screen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm old enough to be a grandpa, so they only get worse.
Okay then. So with that, we're gonna go over to hole number 3, the first part 5. So what do we do here from front tee?
From the front tee, I like to go with the quarterback, the black line. I think we also need to use the Titan with about, I have 3 to 4 backspin, but Tommy, I have a feeling I might need a little bit more. I'll let you correct me when I'm done here, because originally I had extra mile, but with the quarterback's ball guide and the fact that it's enough since we're kind of laying up on that black line, you basically want to get as close to the rough as possible without putting yourself in any danger of going in that sand trap or hitting the rough. Your second shot is actually uphill, so we're going to be shaving off 10% with the big dog. This is why we definitely need the Titan here. Bounce on that small little fairway where you see Tommy's second square or box, and go onto the green using full right spin. Top spin or back spin may be necessary, but not much. That'll be wind dependent. So if you got a headwind, you might need 1, maybe 2 top spin at the most. If we got tailwind, the reverse would be true. That's what I have for hole number 3.
Yes, we start with second tee from my end, as always, basically. We are going to play the drive 10% downhill, so extra, add that. And then for the second shot is uphill 10%, so it's minus 10%, so you subtract that for your second shot. It's very important here though that you can play the black line from second tee using a quarterback or playing with a Thor's hammer extra mile to get as close to the top there as possible and play the same type of route RJ suggested when it comes for rookie, and then you play on the fairway pad, bounce up towards the green. I think that's the best way for us to have an approach for the Albatross, but there is also a way to play out to the right. Same type of elevation, 10% downhill, and you're going to bounce before the rough, trying to gain as much distance up to the right with your ball without obviously rolling into the rough. From there though, we are most likely not going to be able to play like above the bunker if we're not making a super long or a super good drive. So if we make just a general drive in this hole, we're going to have to bounce before the bunker. Then we need a club with topspin. And then you might think, I have a big dog, that's gonna be fine. Not really. That's not going to make you reach for the green. So there you do need the topspin that you have, like for an example on the horizon, which could be a club to actually use here in a very good way. So main approach, black line. If you don't feel comfortable there, you might have a problem to judge distance with your drive, as you don't want to go too far or you might go too short. Then we'll go on the right, and we will have to have a harder line where I would say there is an absolute minimal chance making an Albatross playing on the right side. That's basically rolls over to the third tee, and when we play from the third tee, we choose, like I would say, headwind, then the black line goes away directly. It's gonna be too tough. Then we play out there to the right. Otherwise, I think the black line is going to be the best way from the third tee as well. So in the end here, I would leave this towards that. I want to suggest a power 4 ball here. I would say from second tee and third tee, that's going to be very, like a very good ball for you. It will be then a possibility for you to play black line with the sniper instead of having to play with a big dog or play with the cataclysm. So once again, a new course. There is multiply options, but I once again go back to black line, best way, but you know, a little bit tougher as you need to be very close to the rough there to be able to reach the fairway pad. And then right side, if you want to take a more risk-free shot, but don't forget to use a wood club with topspin. Okay, a lot of talk about that one. And C Gray, thank you so much for being here. Chris Cull, thank you so much as well. You know, I laughed a lot. That's the Titan ball. Oh no, it's hard. Yeah, I laughed a lot about that. That was funny, super funny. Peaches Ali, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Oh my god, funny. RJ's level 6 quarterback, good for that curl. It only has 3 topspin as well.
I'm assuming he means good for that shot, because I don't recall saying that we would put curl on the. There's no need for curl unless you're talking about the white line, in which I've never played the white line, so that might be something that you would have to tell him about. But as you see on the black line, it's straight up. Now, if he didn't mean the curl and he's more wondering, is 3 topspin enough? I believe it can be if you find that your ball guide is really short. If you feel comfortable, you can overpower a quarterback a little bit more. Now, just be careful, because it's kind of hard to judge how much overpowering you need. If you have any premium balls, I would, especially in rookie, if you play the golden shot or something like that, I would probably go with, if you have them to spend, I would probably go with a power 4 or power 5 type ball rather than overpowering. But I do think you're probably going to need a little bit more topspin. Tommy, please correct me if I'm wrong, with a quarterback 6 that only has 3 topspin.
I don't think it's going to be a problem at all, as we don't have a problem reaching with a power 3 ball from second tee if we do have a crosswind or a tailwind, but problem with headwind. But from the front tee, based on the no lift from second tee, there's going to be no problem as you're going to play with a power 3 ball, I would say. You guys really get technical. Does anybody just play without notes? I would say yes, there is probably a ton that plays without notes, but we don't. And
they don't make it to the weekend. No, just kidding.
You can make it to the weekend. I want to be very, I made it to the weekend without notes. Like, there's a ton that can make it to the weekend. But if you're gonna,
you're Tommy.
Yeah, oh my God, there is a lot of people that can make weekend without notes. But if you're going to try to get a top spot or try to be consistent in tournament to play for the top spots, you need to play with notes. It sounds ridiculous because it's a game that we're playing, but we play on a very high level, and to be able to win, you need to have notes. That's why I work so hard with the updated text guides, and which I follow myself, and obviously other people do as well. And it's not just about to have the notes, you need to hit perfect as well. But if you do both, I can promise you that you're gonna bump up your tournament play like so much. Christopher Brock, thank you so much. Chuck Jenkins, welcome in here. Let's see. Wonder if power 5 balls and old hook and slice will come into play on some of the par 4s. Type Tyler, I'm just gonna answer that with, we don't know what wind it's going to be, but I guess if we do have a tailwind, we can definitely use some type of a hook or a slice. I don't really see one where it would be super beneficial at the moment, but wait and see until the tournament start. So yeah, David Smith, thank you so much for being a patron. Thanks, buddy. Never played a white line. White lines matter too. What? didn't understand that at all. Was a 38% golfer until I found RJ and Tommy, now 54%. Thanks, RJ and Tommy. Awesome, Timmy. Well done. Well done. Okay, so we are going to move forward to hole number 4, second par 3. I don't know why. I just enjoy this one a little bit more than hole 2 at least. So RJ, front tee, let's bring it home.
All right. Well, I do have 15% as the elevation. Once again, we're using the Goliath with the Marlin. One top spin should be good. Full left spin. Land on the left side of that long sideways looking fairway before the sand. We're going to be playing in medium distance, and your second bounce should be just before the green as you roll in towards the pin.
Yes, and I don't have much to say here either, to be honest. I'm going to add something for third tee, but we start by second tee and also say that here we're going to have a slight elevation change from front and second tee. We play 20% from second tee instead of 15 as we play from the front tee. And we play bouncing on the fairway, rolling up towards the pin, and we're going to play with a wood club in headwind, we're going to play with a long iron in crosswind and tailwind, and the spin adjustment will be obviously based on what type of wind we're going to have, etc, etc. If you play from the third tee, you can choose to actually play on the fairway just before the bunker on the on the top right.
Is that backwards?
I don't know. I think everybody noticed what that was. You play before the bunker on the top right. You bounce yourself up towards the pin. That's going to be a very common way to play that hole on tour number 12. So you're going to have to use a club with as minimum 6 bars of backspin to be able to get the ball to stop. I'm just explaining that way as we don't have that one in the notes here. But yeah, you know, this is going to be a possibility for a hole-in-one. Not the best of the par 3s. The best of the par 3 comes on hole number 7. So we're going to take that one later, obviously. So, okay. And as I said, you know, 20%, guys. 20% need to be
Not
there.
15. Not 15.
No, exactly. From second tee and third tee. Do you think with a power 4 or 5 ball, we can get over that rough on the left on hole 3? Straight tailwind, Michael, in some form, yeah, I do think so, absolutely. I think that's a possibility for second tee and third tee play. I don't think we can from front tee as lower level clubs, and the wind won't be that strong. But I can say to a 99% certainty that if we have a wind 10 mile per hour plus, we should be able to clear that one. I didn't add it because, once again, you know, that's kind of just a absolute special way of playing if we just have that type of wind. But, you know, if I have that one, I'm definitely gonna try tomorrow on stream with a very high probability that we're gonna make it over. So yeah, good question, Michael. Thank you. How are you doing, Tommy? Scott, I'm doing fine. I'm doing very well. How are you doing? Thank you for the question. Matthew Ware, thank you so much, buddy. Appreciate that. And also, what do we have? Bear Apologic Bear, thank you so much for the $5. You better split this with Artie. I like him more than you. Oh, awesome.
That's not possible. Tommy's the man.
I just love that comment. Thank you so much for the donation, dude. I appreciate that. Give Bear some movements. I love it, chat.
For those of you guys who don't pick up the, I don't want to use the word sarcasm, but his humor is awesome. He doesn't mean anything by it. Thank you, Bear. You rock.
Awesome. No, I didn't take it in any bad way either. Does the elevation change if you play fairway past the first bunker? Tony, I've been playing that shot 20 and 30% in Master. If I play that one, I don't seem to get that big of a difference, to be honest. It still works. I have a hard time to read, the final bounce or maybe I'm in between or something like that. I would play it the same as a start, but we're gonna dig more deep into that, obviously, the more we're gonna play the courses. As a start, 20% second and third tee, but I'm not gonna be the guy saying that could never change. I change elevation from time to time as well, depending on how it looks. Good question, thank you. We go to hole number 5. This is, I'm just gonna say that, this is my favorite hole. And this is a hole where I feel that I'm gonna dial this something in. And so, how do we play hole number 5?
Well, hole number 5, first off, 10% is going to be your adjustment. On top of that, we're going with an extra mile and a marlin. No more than 4 topspin, or you're going to end up in trouble. Full right spin, medium adjustance, bounce over the sand. And then for your second shot, bring the Hornet. And we're going to be using about 1/2 to 1 topspin, wind dependent. And we're going to bounce over the rough straight to the pin. This is definitely a excellent opportunity for an eagle. It's not guaranteed or anything, but I really like this this hole as well, Tommy.
Yeah, and pretty straightforward second tee. Just be aware of the topspin that you're gonna use. I noticed when I play this one in tailwind, I play that one with 2.5 bar topspin. And when I play in headwind, I play with 3.5 and 4 bars topspin. You don't need more, because otherwise you're gonna roll into the rough there on top. The beautiful part with this hole is it's a straightforward course. So you're able to use yardage notes here, playing from the second and from the third tee mostly. And that's gonna help you big time. It's gonna help me big time, because I love that. You know, it's that's my jam. I really enjoy when we can play straightforward and we can dial it in by yardage notes, and that's obviously gonna be featured in the updated text guides as well. If I do find myself being dialed in, play with a power 2 ball minimum, I would say. And my suggestion once again, when there is a hole where we try to dial in, play with the same ball all the time. You know, so you're not getting yourself like to having to change adjustment because you're going to change ball to the weaker round. 30, we are going to play over to the right there as well. And I want to add, the reason I don't want to play on the left side is because we do have that freaking bunker just by the green. And sure, you can play on the side of that, but why do that when we can play just without it? Over. Yeah, all. I think this is a possibility to dry green as well, with a higher type of club to bounce before the water, carry over, and and roll onto the green. But we will we will see about that. Second tee, third tee, I think the rough bump is a good possibility. We can bounce on the fairway over to the green, but the rough bump is a possibility there as well. So a lot of possibilities once again, guys. But I think in the end, it's just very important for us to see this one as a super good opportunity, so we make sure that we're not being sloppy and we play properly. What if you don't have Hornet in rookie? Will the runner work?
Sure. Basically, just bring whatever you feel you would like to have that has either accurate. I mean, technically, even a thorn would work, which is not a very accurate club. Whatever you play best with, I'm just trying to give you the best opportunity. Whatever you get, like Tommy said, his jam, whatever club puts you in that groove, it'll definitely work.
We'll see. Elevation, Tyler, sorry, missed a 10% downhill for the first shot, and then I've added 10% downhill for the second shot based on my adjustment. But you can play the second shot 0% as well. That's not gonna hurt you in any bit. It's just gonna be a slight different adjustment for you. Hi Tommy RD, what are the opening scores we will see? Rookie, Pro, Expert, Master, God, Freddy? Such a hard question. Opening scores. Okay, let's say qualifier. Okay, I go first. I say rookie minus 12. That's a par score. But let's say we say RD what's gonna take us to the opening round. Okay, I think that's fair. So rookie minus 8-9 ish. Pro, I think minus 9-10. Expert, I think we're gonna see minus 10 as lowest, and Master, I think we need to get up to minus 11. Maybe the day one is gonna be lower, obviously, but par score is minus 12 on all the divisions, in my opinion, without knowing the wind. So
I agree. I agree.
okay,
I mean,
okay, that's
I wish I could add to it, but I agree.
okay. There you have it, Freddy. Crazy octagon stones, but why? Yo, ask Playdemic, I guess. I don't know.
Now,
What's that? What's that?
I mean, I saw that comment, and I'm glad that you picked that out. First of all, I would just like to say, in 2019, we don't use the word crazy. Mentally unwell octagon stones, and if you're not
What?
from Ireland and you don't know about the mentally unhealthy stones that are octagon shaping, I got nothing, man. I mean, it's just like it's common sense. Everyone knows Ireland was built on crazy octagon. I said crazy.
I don't have a clue what you're talking about, but I guess it makes sense
Neither
for
do
some.
I.
No,
Yeah. Right.
no,
No, he's talking about the hint. Remember, Playdemic on Facebook, and I
yeah,
think also in the social hub
yeah,
showed what looked like floor tiles or something is the next hint. I didn't get it either. Did you? You know,
yeah.
everyone says you own Playdemic, so I'm just curious.
Yeah, probably. No, I googled myself to it. I saw a guy on Reddit posting about. I think it's about a place in Ireland, and if it's about a place, I'm no stupid to understand that it's so it's going to be a new course. So I Google and I boom. The first picture I saw was kind of like a lookalike to what they posted in the social hub. So. Yeah, so I guessed a new course in that way, but I didn't understand anything that you said, so I'm just not
That's
gonna comment.
that's what I was going for.
Okay, thank you, Tommy and RD, for your work on text guides and your time to walk us through them. It's time now for me to get my drink on, and we'll be back later to watch the rest of your guys stream later. Jackal, thank you, buddy. Archie Matthews is in the house. Thank you so much, and Tracy Ventura, thank you so much for the kind words as well. Okay, last question, then we're gonna go to hole number 6. Do you think rookies will score high again like in last tournament? Par 5s are not really eagle chances at rookie.
You know, for I assume that was you're waiting for me. It's really hard to say. I don't think so because it's brand new courses. I think like the second or third time we get to play these courses, we're gonna figure certain shots out. That tends to be the way. So I don't think it's gonna be very high at all. I mean, of course, you're gonna have some brackets, where they're gonna be higher, but that's probably if you got higher level clubs. Maybe you're an expert division, but playing rookie. But overall, for the regular, I really like the scores you gave out. I think that they, yeah, I don't see it in rookie. What do you say?
Uh, I don't really know, to be honest. It's like it's so dependent on the wind. If
Yeah.
the wind is not in our favor, the ones that is going to hurt the most in score wise is going to be players with lower level clubs. But it's not going to hurt those players playing rookie with higher level clubs. Rookie is unfortunately a division. I'm hoping they are going to separate, like they are, or going to make some sort of a handicap, because even how good you are, like there is a massive advantage having better clubs. I know I hate to say that myself, but that's the only reason I think that's a viable thing to say. I don't think having better clubs in tour play is going to make that much big of a difference, but having an extra mile level 8 compared to like an extra mile level 1 or level 2 is unfortunately a very big difference in my opinion. So hard for me to answer, unfortunately. I guess we will have to come back to that. So hole number 6, I would call this the hardest course on the field due to the drive is gonna be tough. So RJ, how do we play hole number 6?
Yeah, I think this is my least favorite. We got a 20% adjustment, which is a little bit higher than the normal. And then also, if you don't hit perfect with the extra mile, which I'm assuming just about everyone in rookie is going to be using an extra mile, you're going to be in trouble. It's going to definitely take away the eagle opportunity. But I do like the reason why I'm saying so much like that is because obviously I'm talking about taking the black line. With the black line, I would take the Titan ball, full top spin, full left spin, aim your ball guide through the middle of that narrow fairway, and just get up as far as you can for your second shot. But man, you definitely got to hit perfect. Maybe some greats might make it, but whew. And make sure, do not forget that 20% because that'll throw you off as well. Bring your big dog for the second shot, and I like the rough bump. With the rough bump, I would be going with full left spin, 3 top spin, and it's uphill 10%. However, rookies, if you are not comfortable with rough bumps, we can always curl the ball from the right to the left. As you see, Tommy has 2 different lines that are black showing the approach to the pin both ways. So if you're not comfortable with the rough bump, that's perfectly fine.
So, second tee, it's going to be 20% downhill here as well from the second tee, and we're going to play according to the black line if we're not having a headwind. And the reason we are not going to do that because we have a headwind, it's because we will not be able to carry it that far, and the ball will most likely fall short, and the risk of going into the rough or in the sand is going to be very big. And then we're going to have to play according to the white line. And if you play according to the white line, I would try to get my ball as close to the top as possible. Then it's very, very important that you do have distance for the second shot. And I would say if the game makers are putting us with a wind that makes us have to play on the left side, then we should consider the albatross being gone. Because you have basically no way to approach the pin from that distance. As you see, you have the bunkers on the top there just by the pin, because the pin stands, hidden behind that. So you basically have to play that shot to get the ball to either to the green or to just close to green. You have an easy wedge. But if we're not having the headwind from the second tee, we play right side, trying to gain as much distance as possible, and then you can actually have a very good opportunity either with a rough bump or to play, a curl shot, as RJ explained, with a sniper. Minus 10% for the second shot. And I kind of said exactly the same thing as I would do from the third tee. If we do have a wind that allows it, we play on the right side. Otherwise, we have to lay up on the left. But once again, laying up to the left is going to take away the albatross. Being able to play on the right, which I hope the game maker is going to give us, because then it's going to be a kind of an interesting hole with a small little chance for an albatross. But the drive is very important, as you don't want to get stuck in the rough or in the sand, then you are dead. Power 4 ball could be very, very good here from 30. Second tee as well for those that have those as well. So, what do we have here? I'm gonna take a look here. Do we have something? Sean Isbell, hey! Hey! Thanks to these guys, gentlemen, taking the time to do it. Very helpful. Leo, you're welcome. Thank you so much. Tommy, do you ever see Playdemic giving us different wins in each round? It's like qualifying round 1 and round 2. You never know, Mike. That would be a very good thing. I would definitely not be against that by any means. It's going to make the tournaments tough in a different way. It will still, give those players that are, studying a massive advantage. It's still going to give those having multiply accounts an advantage. So there is good and bad sides with everything, but I'm not going to say that I'm against that in any form. Does anybody use the Endbringer one? When you have the Rapier level 7? I do not. Thoughts? Yeah.
I'm one of those guys that absolutely love to go full top spin when it's applicable only, obviously, on my shorter wedge shots to take the wind out of the equation. And then I also love the Rapier if I'm at maximum distance for a dunk, because it's got so much backspin. So because of those two things, the Endbringer doesn't appeal to me as much. Plus, the Endbringer is an epic club, so it's going to take a lot longer for. Once the Endbringer gets maxed, oh my God, that club's like mini sniper type territory in terms of how awesome it is. But Yeah, I like the rapier with where I'm at right now. What about you, man?
Endbringer from level 6 and above. It obviously depends what level I'm playing with the rapier, but as you said, you know, the accuracy is insane on the Endbringer, so you allow yourself hitting like great shots and still not being really affected. So yeah, so many times I'm around the green, you know, and I don't really care how I hit the ball. If I just hit great, it's still gonna go in because it's
Right.
so forgiven, and the rapier is not. But I think that if you make a poll in the community, you're gonna see a 50-50 about that. That's
Yeah.
how it is, I
There's
think.
yeah, there's no right answer to that. It's preference. They're both awesome clubs. I'm glad they're both there.
Yeah. So, Adam Wilkinson, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. And we are, with that, going to walk towards T for hole number 7. And hole number 7 is going to be the easiest part 3, in my opinion. I'm going to explain why first, and RJ is going to explain his way for rookie T.
Didn't you just say you were going to go first? I'm
No,
sorry.
no,
Oh.
no, you are going to go first. Sorry, Swinglish.
Okay. Sorry. My bad. My bad. Okay. I got 10% for hole number 7, a Goliath. And since Tommy says it's easy, why don't we bring a basic ball? Because we don't need any spin. No top spin, no back spin, no left spin, no right spin. Aim right at the pin from the top of the fairway. The second bounce on the green about 2 to 3 squares from the fringe. So you got your fringe. I'm talking about going past the fringe onto the putting surface about 2 to 3 squares, and I really feel like you can dial that in. As you can see, there's 2 different black lines, and the reason for that is because there's 2 different locations, but really there's only one way to play this hole, in my opinion, based on what tee box you're set up on.
Second tee and third tee, but we start with second tee, and there we are going to play with our wood club, and we're going to bounce according to the black line. You can see the line drawn from the second tee box, and we're gonna bounce up towards the pin. That's going to be the easiest way. There's going to be a good way. We have a good ball guideline with the sniper, and we have a good way of dialing that one in because the green is actually not that bumpy. We are so used to having greens that are like super bumpy, absolutely insane in somewhat. It's going to be hard to dial in, but this is not. And that's very good. 20% extra from the second tee and from the third tee. So it's a difference with elevation from the first tee and the second tee and third tee. Very, very important that you do note that down. Third tee, the same. We're going to play with like a wood club in tailwind. We're going to play with a driver in headwind, and we can bounce there on the fairway. But there is a way for second and third tee, probably front tee as well, but there we don't take that many risks. But second and third tee have a rough bump on top of the sand, which I would suggest you to play if you're going to play in some sort of a crosswind type of situation. And there is a funnel there. Yes, it is. And a funnel is something that we love, which means that we do have some room for error. Like we can hit, like if you all are remembering from the tournament, we have Eagle Peak, the very elevated hole where we do the rough bump, the one we had in the golden shot. I don't know if you remember, RJ, the one you were so nervous about, and we've said
the one with 50%.
No, the 30%, not that one. If we go back to tournaments, yeah, screw that, doesn't really matter. But in the end, there was courts that we played, bouncing in the rough to roll out, and then I talked about the funnel. It's basically the same type of thing here. If we hit the rough approximately at the spot that we're aiming for, then there's going to be a possibility. Then you maybe wonder, why don't I add it there? It's because you're going to have to compensate for the elevation differently. Like you can adjust the rings, then you will have to either push up, push down, or like push up or pull down to get it correct. And that's a very technical adjustment and something that you're not going to do if you're not feeling comfortable with your adjustment, because then you're going to get stuck in the sand. Also, I would say it's very important that you're going to hit the ball perfect if you're going to approach that one. But we all can at least have it in mind. And if we're going to do a shot like that, and I think for this part 3, more wind resistant ball like a wind 5 ball would be, or wind 4 ball would be very valuable from second and third tee if we can spend one of those. So that is, that is the reason why I love this one so much. I think when there is a funnel, I love the detective work to try to find it, try to find that adjustment. Okay. Do we have any? Tomorrow my birthday, y'all. Gonna try to play and stream. Ian, congrats already. Good luck on your stream. Or
Happy birthday.
Yeah, exactly. A happy birthday. Yeah.
No, I think he said y'all gonna try to play and stream. I'll sing happy birthday to you, buddy. We want to hear Tommy singing happy birthday.
I kind of maybe need to start that something. Then all of a sudden everyone is gonna have their birthday. So it's no, I have a terrible voice. I for some reason get so ashamed when I sing. If someone asks me to sing happy birthday, I hate it. But if I have a song on and then I can sing whatever, Who Let the Frog Out and stuff like that. So,
is that a real song? Or
yeah.
Is that... Oh my God, we had a song back in like the 90s or early 2000s that said "Who Let the Dogs Out," and I thought someone was just goofing around with your, as you call it, Swinglish. Who let the frog out?
Yeah, Crazy Frog. They do some remix and stuff, so it's "Who Let the Frog Out." So it's a remix on "Who Let the Dog Out," basically, but with Crazy Frog. It was fun. Okay, so so yeah, yes, listen to it. That's a big tip. It pumps me up big time. So it's a beautiful song.
Who let the frogs out? Ribbit. Ribbit,
no,
ribbit, ribbit.
No, it's still like who.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's not ribbit, but it could be. That would be fun, honestly. RJ, hole number 8, the last part 4. Can we eagle this one?
Of course we can. And we could do it by adjusting 10% on our drive with the extra mile, playing on the left side with a katana or a titan. You get to choose. And then your full top spin, full right spin. Your second shot is going to be a thorn shot. Aim on that really thin green area there that you see right between the rough and the fringe with about 4 backspin, and there's no elevation. This shot reminds me of something about 2 or 3 tournaments ago that we just had, a shot that we had where we drove to the right-hand side, and then, there was just a thorn shot that just kept going in and in and in when it was down. You know what I'm talking about.
Akaksha Reserve hole 4. I know exactly which
Awesome.
one you're talking about. Yeah.
That one I remember.
Yeah, I love that one. Yeah, so, okay. For me, second tee, or not for me, but for those of you that are playing second tee, I highly suggest the black line for one simple reason, really. It's because if you're gonna play on the right, you're going to find yourself on a different elevation spot basically every single time, because that way on the right is so downhill that sometimes it's stopping on the top of the hill, sometimes in the middle, and sometimes on the bottom, and sometimes in between. So that's gonna be tough to dial in the second shot. But if you play on the left side, you're going to get to the you're going to get to the same type of spot all the time, where we're gonna play at 0. So 10% for the drive, 0 for the second shot. Try to play with a ball that gives you the possibility to get down there. Have in mind, if you are missing to the left or to the right with your drive, you're gonna see yourself rolling into the rough, because it's not that easy. Second shot, just approach the pin like normal. 30, same type of thing. The only reason we're gonna choose the right side if we are pushed by the wind, and that would say if we do have a headwind, then we're gonna play to the right. Otherwise, the same type of adjustment and the same type of elevation here for hole number 8. Good chance, in my opinion. Sup everybody. Okay, question hole 6. Tommy, on your website you have plus 10%, but the tournament guys says minus 10%. Is that an error? Michael, I actually updated that just a half an hour before stream to the second shot being minus 10%. So I know that I state on the whole guide for hole number 6 for pro and expert that I say plus 10%, but that's a mistake, and it should be minus 10%. So I've changed that to the website now, so it displays the same that I'm doing in the Textguides here as well. So the second shot is uphill, and it's, we clearly see that when we play the second shot. It was just a total mistake from my end. Said a wrong thing.
But
Uh,
awesome reading the text guides though, Michael Bolton. That was really cool of you to, to watch them that good, to notice that error and
yeah,
everything.
thank you.
You rock.
Appreciate it, buddy. RJ, did you already bust some football? You and Tommy, the best. Thumbs up from Maverick. Football, he means, the
The
not the
American sport.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Nobody in America has enough endurance to actually play soccer football. So, but
Weird.
we are big and strong, so we just put them things on the helmets, and unless we're Antonio Brown, we don't put our helmets on then.
Okay, so did you already bust some football mean? It's like that you already
Oh,
started to watch some football, or what?
Yeah. Well, actually, I'll address two things really quick here. Number one, I think there was a question earlier about the email and everything about a fantasy football league I was starting. I had to cancel that. So there is no fantasy football. And the second thing I was just going to say is I have like a little football skit that I play, a little video about, people, not about, but when you score a touchdown, because in the United States, egos are huge in the NFL, and we just party and dance like it's 1999 and everything. So, yeah, it's an awesome celebration song. A lot of people like it. I think it's the new favorite.
When is the Super Bowl? That's the only thing that interests me, to be honest.
I think it's usually early February.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
long
and
time.
then the rest of winter is so depressing.
Yeah, it's a long season, obviously, and here in Europe we watch the correct football, not yeah.
The correct football, kind of like purple's the new blue, huh?
Yeah.
I
Uh,
wanted. I'm sorry. I wanted to address something really quick. It was a name that I didn't see before. MC Dillison 123. He made a comment higher up, and MC. I hope I didn't make you feel bad in any way when I was saying we don't call it those crazy. I was making a joke. If you probably aren't used to me. I like to goof around a lot. I definitely didn't mean to call you out, or I wasn't calling you out in any way. I was just making a joke of the way that was said. So I really hope he doesn't feel bad. I hope he didn't leave. It's just I'm a goofy guy, and that's just like Tommy said a couple holes ago. I have no idea what you just said. That's me. That's my personality. So I do apologize if I hurt your feelings in any way. It wasn't my intention.
and I think if someone judged someone after one comment, then I think then it is what it is. But we hope that's not the case. Obviously, we're just having fun. Hi Tommy and RJ won 2 rookie tourneys in a row. Thanks to you guys, Tommy. Thank you, and love both your channels. Thomas Williams, thank you so much, and well done, very well done. Roll to left/right is nasty if you short on left from experience. Roll to left/right is nasty if you short on left. Yeah, if you're very short on the left side, Ken, then it's definitely going to be tough. I think it's going to be tough no matter what side you're going to be short on. So we just have to make sure that we're not. Now, we rather miss if we go long instead, I would say. Tommy, heard you like Endbringer, got a max rapier. When would you say Endbringer goes past? Level 6, Freddy, in my book. But there was people still playing with the rapier on Tour 12, even if they had Endbringer 7. So I think the wedge... the wedge especially, and also short irons goes a lot to personal preference. As you know, I never change from the thorn, even though stat wise the hornet is going to be better, but I never change from the thorn as I feel very comfortable with it. That's the same with the wedges basically. Roger S.E. Gomez, thank you so much. We're gonna see if we have another question, then we're gonna take the final hole. Hey, I play soccer and I'm American. There is just a little more money in American football. Eric, were you good? I haven't asked you. I know you can sing like amazing, but I didn't know they could play soccer.
Soccer's what it's really called, not football.
Oh my.
Even though it was called football in Europe before America became a country, America.
Yeah,
America.
Yeah, that's yeah. Yes. Okay. Then we do have hole number 9. God, you guys are weird over there. Honestly, it's like
We're not weird. We're McClurg.
Yeah, oh my God.
Okay, sorry.
But,
Yeah.
hole number 9, par 5, 538 yards. We're gonna end up with a tough one where we can actually use a slight different club that we're not maybe used to, and give ourselves a better. Yeah, I'm gonna stop talking. How do we play on number 9?
It's contagious. All right, so no elevation on this first shot if you follow the black line, which is the line that I like. I like the quarterback as well. With a Titan, we're going to be using about, I'm guessing about 2 to 3 backspin with full right spin. I have to use about half a ball of right curl. You can probably use about up to 1 ball of right curl. Just be careful. There's no reason to overdo it or underdo it. Just make sure you stay away from the rough and the edge of the cliff and everything there. But then you want to get up as close as you're comfortable getting to the little peak there that you see sticking out on the right-hand side. Then that'll set you up for your second shot with a big dog, full top spin with 2 to 3 right spin, or if you're lucky enough to have one, I would go with a horizon also with full top spin, because as you can see, a lot of people are going to be bouncing where Tommy's first black box is. If you can get up far enough, you might be able to have your first bounce land after the sand, but that's iffy. That's yet to be seen, depending on wind. So prepare to land right at his first black box, and that's why the horizon could be awesome. And if you don't have one, Big Dog absolutely has a ton of top spin.
Yes, and second tee, we're going to play according to the black line. We're going to do that on a third tee as well, if the wind allows. And we're going to play and try to get as far to the top right possible without, obviously, endangering going into the rough. It's going to be a tough drive, and I play that one without elevation. There will be players playing with a different elevation, but I play it with 0 or like nothing extra. For the second shot, we do need the distance. We do need topspin if we're going to bounce before the rough, exactly as RJ explained. And then the horizon is going to be a very good club to use max topspin, because with a maxed out big dog, which is level 8, you don't have enough topspin. So I would say it's going to be either be a high level cataclysm or the horizon for the second shot to give you the topspin to get the ball to roll towards the green with bouncing before the rough. If the wind allows, let's say we do have like some sort of a tailwind, you make a good drive, then you can clear the rough and the sand directly and bounce on the fairway past it, and then you don't obviously need that much topspin. That's the same for a third tee that we're gonna play. Same type of structure. It's gonna obviously be a tougher drive, but if in the end, if we do not feel comfortable with playing according to the black line, we will have to try to play on the white line. But that's gonna be a super tough line where you need a lot of distance. You need a very good drive that make you drive very far to even have a chance to actually bounce over the water there on top. So I don't suggest it. I do suggest the black line. It's gonna be a tough one for every player here. Power 4 ball, very much suggested here. And power 3 ball will work as well, but obviously it's going to be tougher. But I think a power 4 ball will give you a much easier time for the second shot to reach over the rough there. I played the second shot also 0, but I was debating with myself playing it -5% or 0, but I came to the conclusion to play it 0 because it's easier than to adjust instead of adding the -5 or like to subtracting the -5 to the adjustment. So that's, when I feel that I'm somewhere in between with elevation, I go with the one that I feel is easiest to calculate in my head. Hit that thumb. Yeah. Guys, I would just quickly say that I think that Playdemic has made a slam dunk or a home run when it comes to the courses here. I hope that they make a very good way of setting the wind. The reason I say I think it's a home run or a slam dunk is because we have par 5s that is very tough. There is not going to be many albatrosses at all. Then it's going to be the par 4s, very good opportunities on all 3 of them. And then the par 3s are kind of like in between, where they are tricky, but they are possible. And I think that makes this awesome. I hope it's not gonna be destroyed by giving us like a bunch of tailwinds so we can reach green and stuff like that. I don't hope so. So, okay, take some questions here. We're gonna see. I'm gonna scroll up and see if I missed something. Oh God, this new chat program kind of lags like a. Okay, now. Okay, nothing. What about driving it over the water and bouncing off the rocks across the water and landing in front of that bunker? No, like a big no on that, Ken. That's not going to be possible. You have no club that gives you that much topspin to clear that. And even if you're going to get to the rocks, I think the majority of the rocks is rough. But I would say this absolute no.
What about an APOC 7 and Rookie?
No.
And Rookie?
No, it's still the same distance as you have from 30. The distance over the water. That's not gonna change. So
what about the Apocalypse 8? 9.
Maybe then Apocalypse 8 with like 20 bars topspin, something like that.
There we go. Yeah.
No, so please don't even try, Ken. That would be awesome, but I think the gap there is made.
Yeah, it's big.
To not be jumped over. Let's go see. Okay, power 5 ball in Rookie. Yeah.
There's no return on investment, in my opinion, with that. I would save my power 5 balls unless you're like just really trying to get that gold and you feel this is your tournament. But on the regular, absolutely. I don't even like using Kingmakers in Rookie just because of the balls you get back. Say you're gonna use them in Pro and Expert. Save them.
I agree totally with that. Very important to think about that, so you don't put yourself in a position where you feel needed to buy for balls. Obviously, if you buy whatever you like, and I'm not against buying, I buy myself. But yeah, I hope you understand. Hey Tom, I forgot to ask for hole 6 par 5. Tee shot in Expert, is Big Topper a good choice? If the wind is gonna be tailwind, Tony, and if you are gonna play with minimum power 4 balls, otherwise I think you're gonna have to go with too much of overpower. That it's going to be a very, it's going to be a very tough one to control. And if you hit a bad shot with a big topper, like a great left, great right, the ball is gonna go flying to the side because the accuracy is so bad. Do you guys think the fall major will be coming after this tournament? No clue. I guess it's
it seems like the fall major, I'm sure there's going to be snow on the ground for most of us. It feels like it's at the end of the season when they do the major, so I would guess somewhere around November. Just going on the past. I wanted to answer a question real quick.
Absolutely.
But okay, I didn't know if you wanted to get in on when you thought the major was going to be.
No.
Okay. Jerry McClurg says, is Thor 6 okay for every hole? And if you're not obviously talking about par 3s, it can be. But this question is very near and dear to my heart, because before I started taking notes and when I first started playing in tournaments, all I ever used was the extra mile. And, back then we didn't have bags that you could earn through, clans and things like that. Switching up your clubs is just such a huge advantage. I would highly recommend setting up your 3 or 4 bags, whatever you have, beforehand, so if you don't like switching them after, because, yes, it will work, but on some holes, a quarterback it would be so much more accurate. It'll give you more curl. Not just for this tournament, but for all tournaments. I say definitely do not be afraid to switch up your bag. It will improve your game. It's possible, but you can always do better.
Amen to that. I would even go so far that if you're not changing clubs according to the hole, you're probably gonna shoot 1 or 2 or even 3 strokes less than you would otherwise do, in my opinion. I got a couple of questions about power slice in this one. There's absolutely a power slice here, but I would say it's more gonna be on the left side, like white line type of thing. That could definitely be an option if the wind is correct. So we'll have to see, but definitely. Tommy, will there be an updated guide for Master on Monday? Try to qualify on Monday. And also there was a quest. Okay, the updated Textguide will be out on Tuesdays because I play basically 24/7 on Monday. I stream first, then I make the playthroughs, then I start making the updated Textguide. But the updated texts are always out on Tuesday, and Tuesday around afternoon my time. It's like 10-11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the master playthrough is often out early morning Tuesday. And the reason I don't add the master playthrough on Monday, it's because there's often many options that I want to, play, and I want to be able to try some stuff out to get the best possible option for you guys that are watching. There's thousands of players watching the playthroughs to follow them, to do well. And I don't feel right with adding that out on Monday based on just been playing the holes maybe 2 or 3 times. I want to have at least 4 or 5, maybe 6 times to play every hole to get dialed in. I don't agree with if a content creator would just play the hole and then upload it and then, okay, I went into the rough, I went into the bunker, or something like that. That's not me. So unfortunately, there won't be any master content on Monday, but there will be on Tuesday. And if you're playing master, I would definitely suggest that you actually qualify on Tuesday. Monday should be practice day, so you get the feeling for it, in my opinion. I subscribed yesterday. Where can I get the written text guides, David? You can find the general text guides on the website golfclashtommy.com, and you can get the updated text guides on Tuesday updated text guides on Patreon on Tuesday. So have that in mind. All that type of information is on the website. It's on Patreon underneath the package description and stuff like that. So yeah. So guys, thank you so much once again for being in here this evening. And as I said from the beginning, don't forget to subscribe to me and it's RJ TV. So I want to clear that 50k mark. Honestly, it's 622 people, and
Let's get it.
Yeah, and I think we both want to see in the comment section, for those of you that are watching now, but also for those of you watching afterwards, what do you think will be the score for the divisions? What do you think will win? Make a comment, let us know, and see if anyone is right when we get there. Subscribe, as I've said, hit the thumbs up before you go. And RJ, streaming wise, when do you get on next week?
I am not letting the shrink in my head this week, so 7 o'clock all the way through.
Nice, and that's Eastern Standard Time, right?
Yes, East. New York. Just look up New York. Google, what time is it in New York? Okay,
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say that as well. New York time, 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be live. That's when the tournament starts tomorrow morning. So make sure you be there. Set an alarm. Take a Red Bull, like a cup of coffee or whatever. I hope you're gonna be there. I'm gonna go over the divisions and I'm gonna make the mistakes that I hope you don't make, because that's what it's all about. Take a look at the win and make some mistakes and try some stuff out and just having fun. Otherwise, for me, I'm gonna stream on 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday, and then it's gonna be 10 a.m. on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then it's always gonna be 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. I stream early, guys, many of the days due to I have a family. I want to spend time with Amelia and Jennifer. And as I work so much, I work 12 to 15 hours on Monday and Tuesday, and then in the end I want to not spend that many evenings rest of the week to be there with them, obviously. Yes, I think that was everything. Update the text guys once again. Give yourself the advantage if you sign up today, which is September. Then you get, it's on monthly basis. Then you get for all the tournaments on in September. And I think that was it. RJ, you gonna get the honor to finish it up here today.
Finish it
up. No. Oh my God.
I can't say it now. Oh wait, happy stroking.
My God.